William Morrow and Harper Audio present Into a Dark Realm, Book 2 of the Darkwar Saga, by Raymond E. Feist, performed by Peter Joyce.
Chapter 1. Chase. A woman screamed in outrage. 3 young men overturned carts and pushed aside shoppers as they crashed through the evening market. Their leader, a tall, raw-boned youth with red hair, pointed to the retreating back of their prey and shouted, "There he goes!" Night approached the port city of Durbin as desperate men raced through the streets. Merchants pulled prize wares from tables as 3 young warriors shoved anyone and anything blocking their pursuit. In their wake they left consternation, curses, and threats, all of which they ignored. The summer heat of the Jaipur desert still clung to the walls and cobbles of the city, despite the slight breeze off the sea. Even the harbour gulls were content to stand idly by and watch for any morsel that might fall from a passing vendor's cart. The more ambitious among them would launch themselves into the air and soar for a moment or two, hanging languidly on the heat rising from the dock stones, then quickly return to stand quietly near their brethren. The evening markets were crowded, for most of the inhabitants of Durbin had spent the blistering afternoon resting in the shade. The city's pace was leisurely, for these were the hottest days of summer, and men who lived on the desert's edge knew better than to struggle needlessly against the elements. Things were as the gods willed. So the sight of 3 armed and apparently dangerous young men pursuing another, while hardly a remarkable experience in Durbin, was unexpected given the season and the time of day. It was just too hot to be running. The man attempting to flee was, from his look, a desert man, swarthy and dressed in a baggy shirt and loose-fitting pantaloons, a midnight blue headdress and open robe, his feet clad in low-topped boots. Those who followed were led by a northerner, probably from the Free Cities or the Kingdom of the Isles. His ginger hair was uncommon in the Empire of Great Kesh. His companions were also young men, one broad-shouldered and dark of hair, the other blonde and of slighter build. They were all sunburned and dirty, and had hard expressions that added years to their appearance. Their attentions were fixed on their quarry, and their weapons were easily at hand. They were dressed in garb that marked them as men from the Vale of Dreams, breeches, linen shirts, riding boots and leather vests, instead of robes and sandals. They were most likely mercenaries, a likelihood accentuated by their grim determination. They reached a boulevard that led to the docks, and the man fleeing dodged between merchants, shoppers, and dockmen, heading home for the night. The leader of those in pursuit paused for an instant, then said, "He's heading for the grain shippers' dock." With a hand gesture, he sent his blonde-haired companion up a side street, then motioned for the darker youth to come with him. "I hope you're right," said the shorter man. "I'm getting tired of all this running." With a quick glance that showed a grin, the leader said, "Too much time sitting in alehouses, Zane. We need to get you back to the island and Tillingbrook's tender mercies." Too out of breath to comment, the shorter youth just made a sound that clearly indicated he found that remark utterly lacking in humour, as he quickly wiped perspiration from his brow. He had to hurry just to keep up with his taller companion. The inhabitants of Durbin were practised when it came to dealing with duels, brawling, gang wars, riots, and all other manner of civil disorder. By the time Jommy and Zane reached the corner around which they had seen their quarry vanish, the alarm had outstripped them, and the street leading to the docks was almost deserted. Passers-by, merchants, and seamen, bound for nearby inns and taverns, had sensed coming trouble, and vanished into whatever scant cover they
Sample complete. Ready to continue?